Hey guys, welcome to Cool Toys. I'm here in the Jeep, heading over to do a Jeep versus Jeep. If you saw the Volt versus Volt we did years ago with Vance in the Volt Generation 1, we're going to do Rubicon versus Sahara today. Very cool episode. I've got producer Craig and intern Liam back here. We've got Dominique Simon, a motorcycle racer, 24-hour of Le Mans winner. And he's got a Jeep Rubicon he wants to talk about with us for his show in Nantes, France. Nantes&VousTV. He owns a shop in Nantes called Le Garage Musée. And this will be translated and transcribed rather, so that there'll be subtitles in French and English, depending on where you watch it, France or the US. So welcome everybody, we're gonna go check this out. We're heading to the marina, the exact same spot where we did Volt versus Volt and talked about it. And hopefully Dominique will be here soon. He's notoriously on French time. He gets here when he gets here. So, well, that'll give us time to set up the camera and get ready for him. But hopefully it all works out and we get to see a Rubicon. We'll talk about the differences. This, of course, being the Sahara, the luxury model, which for long drives is nicer. Both of the new ones, though, all the JLUs, you know, you get the acoustic windshield, which quieted them down quite a bit over the JKs. And a lot of cool stuff. So we'll look at the differences between the Rubicon and the Sahara, and then he'll take all that back to France for Nantes&VousTV, and then we'll use it here on Cool Toys, and so you guys get to see it too. So we'll be there in just a moment. Well, here we are at the marina, pulling up, and of course, as expected, Monsieur Dominique is a little tardy, but that's okay. We'll wait here for a minute, see what he brings in this Rubicon. Let's go check it out and see what he's doing. Hey guys, here we are, Huntington Harbor Marina, waiting on the Jeep Rubicon that Dominique is bringing. And we'll talk a little bit about Jeeps. Of course, the Sahara, our favorite toy, and the thing that makes Jeeps a cool toy is the fact that it's a toy. You can break parts. You bang a fender, you go buy a new one, no big deal. There's no other car like it, and that's what makes a Jeep fun, and that's what makes it a cool toy. So, and I'm just filling time because, you know, Dominique the Frenchman, he's late again. Oh, there he is now. So, Dominique, right on cue, late.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Dominique.
How are you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my delay.
You're late as always. Nantes&VousTV star, Dominique Simon.
Merci à toi, Scott. Merci à CoolToys de nous accueillir.
Merci à
Nantes&VousTV.
Nantes&VousTV.
Ici à Huntington, sur le soleil de Californie.
Ah, c'est bon. Le Jeep.
Pour voir
Cette
superbe
Rubicon.
Jeep. Ouais, Rubicon.
Oui?
Exactement. On y va?
Sahara.
Ouais.
So, this is the luxury.
Oui.
The Rubicon is the more off-road.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our Cool Toys Jeep. So we play with it on the different episodes, and we have a lot of fun off-road with it.
Okay.
So,
Scott,
and the Rubicon?
le Jeep?
Oui.
81 ans.
Oui.
81 ans, elle a. La première, la Willys.
In France?
En France, Willys. 55 appellation Jeep.
Oui.
Et maintenant, quand on retrouve ce véhicule avec tout le confort qu'il y a maintenant, c'est incroyable.
Oui.
Jamais on n'aurait pensé que 81 ans après la Willys, il y ait les vitres électriques, le GPS,
Oui.
et etc. La clim.
D'accord. I agree. It's the Jeep is one of the most fun cars. The maintenance is different. You, like we talked about earlier, we've talked about on every show. You break something, there's parts everywhere. You want new fenders, you bust this off, you just get new fenders. Nobody cares. That's what makes it a Jeep. It's a toy. And you said you're bringing a Rubicon. Where is it? Oui, le Rubicon.
Il devait être là.
Ah, French. This is what it's like. Nantes&VousTV, everybody late. Okay, so let's take a look over here and see if we can figure out where this guy is coming from. But while we do that, and we're waiting for the Frenchman to arrive, talk about the Jeep.
Est-ce que tu nous fais découvrir cette Jeep?
Oui, 2-liter Sahara,
Ouais.
turbo.
Oui.
So in the mountains, it keeps all the power. So if
Okay.
you have the big Hemi down here, it's faster, but in the mountains, there's no air, so it can't
okay.
breathe, normally aspirated. I like the Stingray, kind of the military look.
On est sur un 4 cylindres.
Oui.
Ok. Qui marche mieux que le EMI en V8.
Okay.
C'est ce que tu me disais.
This one's 4,
Mhm.
2 liter, 4-cylinder motor.
Ah, ok. Deux cylindres, enfin, c'est un 4 cylindres 2 litres.
Oui, oui, oui. Turbo,
Oui.
though. Turbocharged. Turbo.
Oui.
Oui, the V8, le 8,
Ok.
no turbo.
Ok. Le V8 n'a pas de turbo, mais s'essouffle plus facilement dans les montagnes.
Correct.
Ok.
Correct. So, but with you also get with the Sahara more luxury suspension, so it's much softer for
Okay.
the road. For driving, Rubicon is very stiff, so for going on rocks.
Ok.
But they both. This one is all LED lighting, newer, the new one. So LED lighting. It has radar cruise control. You can
Ouais.
just set the button and follow the car in front of you on the freeway.
Ok.
And
Ok.
automatic, totally automatic.
Ok. Ok.
So,
Est-ce que tu as un poids pour cette voiture? Parce que les premières Jeep
Oui.
faisaient 1 tonne 100. Jusqu'à 1 tonne 4, suivant les préparations, si c'était du 4 roues motrices
oui.
ou 2 roues motrices.
No, 4.
4 roues motrices. Et le poids?
So he's asking on the 4-wheel drive. So it can be 2, 4, and this one in some new Jeeps can be all-wheel drive, je sais en français.
Oui.
This one is 4-wheel drive.
Ok.
So 4.
Ok.
But yeah, so there's a difference. And the other fun thing with this one is the top. This comes off in pieces. So like this here just pops off.
Donc ceci, elle garde quand même la version découvrable, où on peut retirer l'hardtop aussi derrière, il me semble. Hein. Oui.
Voilà.
Carrément.
And the top comes off. So
Ouais,
just
ouais.
everything about the Jeep is just fun. You just put it away, no big deal, and everything goes. So it's there it is. Okay. So but 4 clips, piece of cake. This, put a surfboard rack on the roof, go anywhere, do anything. It's a Jeep. So a lot of fun with the 4-door, a little longer than
Yes.
the 2-door. So this is maybe 15 feet, so like 3.5 meters maybe.
Ok.
And the 2-door, you can see here, this piece for the 4-door is
Okay.
gone.
Ok.
So it just connect here to here.
Donc on est sur du 4,33 m au niveau de la taille pour la version coupée et on est à 4,80 m à peu près sur la version rallongée, comme celle-ci, la version 4 portes. Et on a un poids d'environ à peu près 2 tonnes pour ce véhicule. Voilà, on peut être un petit peu moins suivant les motorisations et ça peut monter jusqu'à 2 tonnes 2. C'est quand même assez loin de la version initiale qui faisait 1 tonne 100 à peu près.
So there's a lot of different things also in the newer Jeeps. This one, there's an option for all-wheel drive, which this is 4-wheel drive, but there is an all-wheel drive option. And engines, there's a lot of engines. This one is the 2-liter. We'll pop this real quick. 2-liter turbocharged
Ouais.
with 2 batteries, and it has an auxiliary battery. So it stops at stoplights, very much like European. So we do that now here in the US. So that's something new to us, but you guys have been doing for years.
200 HP?
254. 254 horsepower.
Ok.
Plus or minus. It's there's some that they're a little different, and there's also a plug-in electric version that has a slightly different version with this motor.
Ok.
Like all Jeeps, the trademark from the 1940s, from the earliest Willys on, is the 7
Depuis la première,
grill.
il y a toujours eu ces 7 barres qui sont là et c'est l'origine, c'est l'ADN de la voiture.
Exactement. This is the only vehicle that has the 7 bars is the Jeep,
Ouais.
which, it's sort of the unique thing. You can take the front off, you can put the
Les
front
phares ronds et la calandre avec 7 barreaux.
on. Oui.
Oui.
Okay. So, still here we are waiting on another late Frenchman, but. And voila.
Wow.
That's not a Rubicon. No, that's a beast.
Wow.
So the only thing left Rubicon on this thing is a sticker right here. But this is exactly what we talked about with Jeeps. You bang a fender, look at this. Nice big steel fenders. This one, plastic.
Et celles-là sont en ferraille.
Oui.
Eh ben, on accueille Wulfran, qui est un ami qui est en vacances sur la région aussi, et qui nous a fait la surprise. On lui avait demandé un Rubicon, et il nous a vraiment ramené. J'ai cru que c'était le SWAT qui arrivait.
Oui. So, this does look like a beastie police car out of a movie, you know. And the thing is just totally reinforced. I don't know, how do you see out of the window? Can you see when you're driving it? Because the window's all covered.
Yeah.
So look at how small this hole is where he's sitting. There's nothing, I mean, he's in there in this protected box. And look at these tires, 40 inches. What is that in centimeters?
C'est énorme.
40, big. You know, I thought I had pretty decent sized tires with 32 and a halves, and then 40 just.
Oui, Franck, est-ce que tu peux nous parler des spécificités de ton engin de la guerre là? C'est incroyable.
Eh ben ouais, c'est une préparation faite par Fab Four.
How is it to drive?
Un accessoiriste américain.
Yeah, how is it to drive? C'est bon?
C'est bon, c'est assez facile.
Oui?
Assez facile. Après pour la ville, c'est vrai que c'est un petit peu gros.
Un peu gros.
Yeah.
Mais c'est vraiment sympathique. C'est aussi sympathique dans le centre d'Hollywood que dans le désert.
Okay.
Voilà. Bon, ça bouge un peu, c'est des gros pneus, mais franchement, c'est plutôt surpris, ouais. Plutôt surpris de l'essai.
Mais là, tout est en ferraille devant.
Tout est en ferraille, ouais.
Là, on a de l'aluminium ou du plastique, et là,
Ouais.
tout est en ferraille.
Voilà, ouais. C'est un blindage de 4 mm, et donc c'est un accessoiriste d'ici qui fait ça, ouais. Légende d'autosport. Voilà,
Ok. Et tes pneus sont surdimensionnés.
Ah bah là.
So when you drive it, can you hear the metal whistling?
Alors, yeah.
Oh, so
The big problem is the sound.
sound,
Yes,
very loud.
Yes.
Oh, the tires too. Yeah, the
It's
big tires.
Very noisy. Very
Yeah.
noisy.
So, and he said it was very easy to drive, but you could hear the power steering working really hard to park right there in the spot. So, the 40s, there is a big issue when you go over 35. If you don't put in reinforced bearings, they'll get the death wobble, where the bearings start to go, and that's one of the problems in Jeeps. And you can even see, look at this tire. That you can see the grooves in the tire are warping because of the bearing is already getting a little weak. And that's the problem when you go that big.
Yes.
It's fun.
Especially when you're driving very slow. It's dancing.
Yeah.
But after you.
Plus à petite
you are
vitesse.
custom.
Plus à
Oui,
petite
à
vitesse. Ouais.
La petite vitesse, c'est un petit peu déstabilisant au début.
Ouais.
Ça commence à danser
On
comme
le
ça.
sent flotter un petit peu.
Voilà. Et puis après, en fait, c'est une question d'habitude parce qu'on est plus habitué à des voitures un peu plus basses.
Est-ce que tu as un poids à nous donner pour cet engin?
Théoriquement, il fait le même poids que celui-là, mais avec l'armature en plus, c'est quand même assez lourd.
Donc on tourne autour des 2 tonnes quand même.
Ah ben un petit peu plus même, je pense. Ouais.
2 tonnes, 2 tonnes, 2.
Je pense.
Au niveau consommation, le constructeur nous donne à peu près du 9-10 litres sur ça.
Bah là ici c'est un peu plus.
On est
J'avoue franchement, je dirais plus dans les 19-20 litres.
Ouais. Ok. Consommation.
Surtout sur l'autoroute quoi.
Ok.
Okay. En dessous 70 miles ça va.
Il est vraiment plus lourd.
Il est plus lourd. Ouais. C'est bon
Après ça, il y a les dimensions des pneus qui jouent beaucoup aussi.
Qui jouent aussi, ouais. Mais bon, je pense qu'on fait pas ça pour l'économie, hein, c'est pour le plaisir. Après,
exactement. Tu vas nous faire découvrir l'intérieur?
Si vous voulez. Si vous voulez. L'intérieur, donc même moteur, hein, un 2 litres turbo, 8 vitesses.
2 litres turbo, 8 vitesses, une puissance de environ 280, il me disait.
Ouais,
voilà.
270,
280.
Ouais. Et puis vraiment une belle finition.
Je pense que sur le Rubicon, ils sont arrivés à un niveau où ça devient de la routière quand même.
Oui.
Alors que c'était moins confortable, voilà.
Après, il y a tout, il y a la clim, il y a le toit qu'on peut démonter.
Comme sur l'autre.
Voilà, comme sur l'autre, c'est vraiment.
Okay.
So the basics are the same. The Rubicon and the Sahara, we've got the same Freedom top. You notice, the same similar style leather interior. We both got the same 2-liter turbo motor, which, in my opinion, is the best motor because it doesn't lose power at altitude. When you go up into the mountains, it still just goes.
Yeah.
It also gets good gas mileage. I don't know, this one maybe not so good, but mine is 24, 26 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then you can see again, rear fenders, look at the metal on the back. There's all kinds of great stuff with this. This one has been hopped up, but the interior looks pretty stock. It doesn't look like anything in the inside has been changed. So it's very similar to the Sahara. You know, but you do have the extra metal down here, more metal up here, and then metal back here. So you've got 3 different pieces of metal to bounce off the trees and the rocks when you're out four-wheeling in the mountains that the plastic would just rip right off. But again, it's a Jeep. Plastic rips off. Guess what? I know where to buy these. Makes it easy. 40-inch, but look at, this is the other thing with these 40s. Look at how big this thing is and how much weight it puts on that back door. So you have to have special hinges just to make this tire work on here, because if not, when you open the door, you hear that? The hinge is not even that strong. So this is too small, too big of a tire for that hinge. So there's a bigger, you should see a much larger hinge on this one. They didn't do it, whoever modified this one, so there's still a little bit of work to go, but it's a Jeep. You always play. It's just fun. So that's hopefully in Nantes, on Nantes&VousTV, they can go play with a Jeep like this.
Oui. Donc là, c'est vrai que tous les éléments ont été remplacés, hein. Tout ce qui était en plastique, pare-choc, ailes et tout ça, on retrouve, tout a été fait dans le kit en ferraille.
Oui.
On voit avec des suspensions renforcées, des jantes qui sont surdimensionnées. C'est pas trop les jantes encore parce que je crois qu'on reste sur du 17 pouces, mais c'est vraiment le pneu qui est surdimensionné. Et c'est énorme. Autrement, on retrouve tout le confort qu'on a dans la version Assagi avec laquelle Scott est arrivé.
Voilà. Après, toutes les pièces, en fait, sur ce fabricant, on peut acheter vraiment toutes les pièces au détail. Avec,
on peut se le faire sur mesure.
Totalement.
Okay.
Totalement.
Okay.
Ouais, totalement. C'est vraiment.
Donc la différence quand même reste un surplus de consommation.
Bah, un surplus de consommation,
surplus
le poids. Après bon, c'est un peu plus fun quoi. Voilà. Après,
le poids,
ouais.
Mais par contre quelle gueule.
Ah bah.
Il a une gueule diabolique.
Oui. So shall we go for a drive?
Yes. Ouais.
Yeah.
Oui.
Ah, yeah.
Eh ben, on va aller essayer ça. On va aller essayer la version Assagi et la version un peu plus lourde, mais avec cette gueule démoniaque.
So we're going to look at the 2 different versions. I think the nice luxury one is going to be the easier one to drive for sure, but this one is going to get a lot more looks going down the road. Everybody's going to look at this beast. So this really is a fun toy. But let's take them for a ride. Let's put a camera in each of them and run around the block and take a look.
On va rouler.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Ok. Donc là, on est parti en essai. On est dans une voiture de tous les jours. On peut rouler avec ça tous les jours. Avant, c'était un peu dur à conduire les Jeeps. Et maintenant, c'est confortable. Il y a le GPS, il y a les vitres électriques, il y a l'anti-patinage, il y a l'anti-collision. Il y a vraiment tout à bord de cette voiture.
Navigation?
Navigation, bien sûr. L'ordinateur de bord.
Oui.
Mais c'est formidable. On a vraiment tout dans cette voiture.
So the Sahara is very much luxury. So we have media for CarPlay for Apple and Google, Android phone. Every luxury item you could ask for in any big luxury vehicle is in this Jeep. That's the Sahara. So the funny thing is, the Rubicon has most of the same things, the good cruise control, the navigation, all options is available. So when you get the higher end Jeeps now, they're very luxury, and I talked about this on some old Cool Toys, that it's almost too nice to be a Jeep. You feel almost bad to go off-roading in the mountains. But then you go look at the fenders and you break it, you just put a new one.
Ouais.
So it's fun.
C'est vraiment chouette. En plus de ça, on peut le découvrir, comme on l'a vu tout à l'heure. On peut retirer l'arrière aussi. On garde la cage quand même de sécurité pour éviter de se retourner et pour pouvoir faire du cross.
In the stereo, 12 speakers.
Oui, il y a des haut-parleurs en plus.
Yeah. So,
non, moi, ce que j'aime bien, c'est ce petit rappel de la wheelist là, sur le levier, sur le pare-brise et sur chacune des jantes, on a un petit rappel de la Jeep wheelist. Et ça, c'est vraiment un super hommage pour les gens qui ont inventé cette voiture-là. C'était vraiment chouette.
Yep. So there's everything you want in a luxury car, in a Jeep. So it's kind of the everything vehicle.
Il y a vraiment tout. Il y a vraiment tout.
Total, yeah.
Là, on peut rouler, on peut partir loin et puis on est confortable. On est assis dans des sièges qui sont plutôt confortables. On a le cuir sur certains modèles. On a vraiment, c'est une voiture, c'est une limousine. C'est une limousine avec laquelle on peut sortir des sentiers battus et aller se faire un peu de tout terrain. Voilà.
So Jeep has evolved in such a way that you know, we think of Jeeps as these old bouncy military vehicles with uncomfortable vinyl seats and all this. And yeah, we put the diver down neoprene in here, which is for the leather. When you go surfing, it's a little nicer because you don't get the salt water in the leather. It lasts a little longer. It's just one of the options we put in. But everything else in here, you know, the dash is leather, the screens, it all says luxury vehicle. But I have taken this Jeep on Rubicon Trail. I've taken it to Moab Trail. I've taken it to four-wheeling in Zion National Forest. And it is an absolutely, completely ready off-road vehicle for four-wheeling anywhere in the mountains. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle. So now we should go drive the other one, the Beast.
Best.
Best.
Et là, on peut partir avec la famille. Et on part au Texas, là, sans problème. C'est vraiment très agréable à conduire et vraiment on se sent à l'aise. La prise en main est très très facile. Et on sait que même un jeune permis il peut se promener avec ça sans problème. Et puis avec la direction assistée, c'est vraiment une voiture confortable.
So now as we drive by and I look at the Beast with those 40-inch tires, and I just think of the death wobble, and which is a known thing with Jeeps. The bearings are designed really for up to about a 33 or 34-inch tire like comes stock on the Rubicon. When you go up to those 40s, it's a lot of weight that you're moving around, and when you have a 17-inch rim versus the 18 that's on this one, you also add a lot of rubber, and that rubber flexes and moves where the rim is a little bit more solid, so it's a little bit less bouncy onto the bearing. So you're not putting, you know, the stresses are different kinds of stress, but the 32-inch, 33-inch tires are more than enough, and have taken this thing everywhere off-road in the snow and the whole 9 yards. But admittedly, like we talked about already, everybody's going to look at the Beast. That thing is just cool looking to see. It's just it attracts the eye right away.
On va aller essayer le Rubicon.
Oui.
Hein, dans sa version extrême, avec cette gueule démoniaque. Et qu'on va vous faire découvrir et que Scott va conduire.
Oui, allez.
Allez hop.
Oi.
Okay.
Holy cow, this thing's tall.
Wow, wow, wow.
Nice and fresh. So we got in the Beast, and yeah, it's very different. This is and the suede differential, so these things can disconnect. So this allows the front to lock or to go like this, the front wheels.
Ok.
For rock crawl. So
bloquer le différentiel et on peut désactiver la barre stabilisatrice in France.
Oui.
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So that is another difference in the Rubicon we didn't talk about on the outside, is the fact that this has a way to lock the differentials and to release the sway bars. So if you're going to go rock crawling, you don't rip parts apart. If I really did some deep rock crawling in the Sahara, I might do some damage. But otherwise, very similar.
Yes.
This one just says Wrangler.
Yes.
Doesn't have
Là, il y a une barre.
Oui. Yeah. So when you're with your wife.
Tonneaux, ça.
So Dominique's wife has a desert racer that he's afraid of. He won't admit it, but he's scared. So anyway, you can feel, well, you'll even see the camera shake because the tires just chunking.
On sent déjà les pneus qui tremblent un peu plus. Donc comme l'expliquait Scott tout à l'heure, on a un blocage de différentiel avant-arrière et on a aussi la barre stabilisatrice qui est qu'on peut désactiver pour pouvoir se sortir de certaines situations. Première impression, c'est qu'on roule, on sent la traction des pneus. C'est impressionnant.
So when you get that kind of traction though, and you do it differently if you're on flat surface like this, because the tires have to go the same speed, the whole thing will just hop and jump. And right now, in fact, the computer in this one is telling us that front tire, remember we look at the cupping, it's saying the front tire is out. So the computer even knows that the differential is not lined up correctly, which that you don't see in the old Jeeps, you know, in the very classic. This one, all the computers, and it's telling me that you have a problem with the front. So it's pretty impressive, you know, when you really look at this thing for a Jeep, all the stuff it does. It's just amazing. But you can feel the shifting differential, so the computer's not quite adjusted for these tires yet because of the way it's shifting. And sitting up this high though is kind of cool. It's really nice to be that high because look at the view we have.
C'est
Even
vrai.
though we have this bulletproof shield around the window.
Donc, on a le pare-brise qui est un peu plus court et on se sent vraiment très très haut dedans, presque comme dans un bateau.
Yeah, but we have
À
this.
l'étage, oui.
Oui.
Mais c'est assez surprenant. On a vraiment l'impression de surplomber, on est vraiment très très haut.
Yeah, it's a very different experience driving the luxury Sahara versus the Beast. Just even putting around here at 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, it's a very, very different experience, clearly. We'll get it up to speed here and see how bad it shakes and how much noise it makes. The friend from the other garage said that the whistling is very noisy in the tires. But, you know, that's one of the trade-offs that you make with a Jeep like this. When you want to get the looks, when you want everybody to see you in the Jeep, you know, you have to have some things you give up.
Là, on retrouve tout le confort comme dans l'autre, hein, de manière. Hein. Donc, on voit le GPS. Il y a un petit plus. Hein.
Oui.
J'ai vu que c'était une option.
Yeah.
On peut avoir la couleur qu'on veut. On peut avoir la couleur de la voiture. On peut avoir le petit rappel ici. Là, on vous montrera tout à l'heure à la caméra. Mais la petite Willys d'origine qu'on retrouve sur les jantes sur l'autre. On sait le petit rappel, le petit coucou, le petit rappel de la Willys. Les origines et l'ADN.
Yep. And so it's nice that they pay respect to the original CJ
Oui.
and the original Willys,
Oui.
because really this started as a Willys that the U.S. government made to a general purpose. So the name Jeep, GP, is what it originally was. And the fact that they put the original Willys style, the early Jeep logo all over, you know, is a very nice, respectful move to the old days and to keep that connection to the history of the Jeep, because it's one of the longest running vehicle lines in history. So since the same Jeep basic 7-bar grille, same, they have 2-door still, but you know, now we have the 4-door, the unlimited. So these are both unlimited, but the 2-door, the coupe, you call, they're still very much the same style since 1940. And that's an amazing, there's no other car that looks the same in 1940 that you say, a Jeep in 2022. So, you know, 50 years later, you say, a Jeep?
Ouais.
It's not a Mustang. Mustang today doesn't look like a Mustang from 1965, like the Mustang in your shop that we look at, or the Corvette in your shop. The Corvette, the new Corvette, doesn't look like a Corvette. It's all very different, but a Jeep is a Jeep.
Yes, la Jeep, c'est la Jeep. Et la Jeep, c'est, il faut savoir, 81 ans sépare la première version qu'on a eu l'occasion d'essayer dans la saison 2 de Nantes&VousTV. On avait eu l'occasion d'essayer une Jeep Willys, voilà. Et on se retrouve avec ce modèle démoniaque, Rubicon, entièrement caréné. Et tout ce confort, et jamais on n'aurait pensé que cette voiture-là aurait passé le temps comme elle l'a passé. On a 81 ans entre les deux.
Yeah, there's just so much that connects it all that we can't do any other way. But this has been a lot of fun.
Oui.
Nantes&VousTV, à CoolToys.
Merci, CoolToys.
Yeah, merci Nantes&VousTV. Super.
Super.
Ok. Au revoir, mes amis. Well, there we go. We had a great time. The team from Nantes&VousTV is on their way back to France. We looked at Jeeps once again, CoolToys. I mean, come on, what vehicle comes with a toolkit to take the doors off? That's just great. And the fact that you can do all the stuff that they did to make that thing into the beast that it was, that's even better. So, super cool toy, a lot of fun. It doesn't matter if it's a mall crawler or a rock crawler. Jeeps are just cool toys. So I hope you had a great time watching this episode. If you did, please subscribe at YouTube and both. Go to CoolToys.tv, grab a t-shirt like this, grab some swag, show it off. And hopefully we'll see you next time when we go pick up the Ernst Palmer surfboard. Thanks for watching.